My name is Clive Malunga. I was born on the 25th of November 1960 in Norton. I grew up in Norton. At the age of 18, I moved from Norton, joined the exodus to Harare because everything is happening here in Harare. So I wanted to pursue the music industry. I wanted to make sure that I become a prominent musician, and for me to pursue the music area in Norton, it was not feasible because Norton was a small town. So I thought if I come to Harare, it's going to be easier for me to join the likes of Thomas Mapfumo, Zex Manatsa, Limpopo Jazz Band, Jackson Piri, the Rangwena Jazz Band, and many others. In that time also Susan Mafumo from Norton was a big success, and Teenage Kupo stayed in Norton. I saw him in Norton and I emulated what he was doing as an artist. He was an artist par excellence, and I envied him. I really got something from Teenage Kupo, the way he sang, the way he danced, the way he projected himself in front of the audience. He was exceptional, and was so good to mention just a few musicians who participated at that particular time. So I decided to take the area of the JIT music. I thought the JIT genre is far much better because I grew up in Norton, and Norton is part of the Zulu area, the Mondoro, Zimba, Chinoi. So we grew up playing JIT music. So I thought, no, the genre which I must master is JIT music. So I started playing JIT music, and my first recording was called Marimba Jive. I recorded Marimba Jive with Blues Revolution some years back in 1995 or 1990, if I'm not mistaken. I was just a session musician at that time, working with different groups. I worked with the Blues Revolution, I worked with Robson Banda and the Black Eagles. It was very successful. My first album I did with Robson Banda. It was very, very successful. I enjoy the album up to now. And then I thought, no, maybe things are not going according to what I was expecting, because every time I would go and beg a group to play my music, and they will not provide the required time, and also they just wanted some money from me. Pay them, then they will take maybe just a couple of days to put together the songs, and we go to the studios and record. So I decided that it's time I should also start forming my own musical group. So I formed my musical group called Jenaguru. We started touring Japan, but before I formed the Jenaguru musical group, I went to Japan with the four brothers. By that time, Marshall Munumumu had passed on. So I went with the remaining members, but most of them have also passed on. Frank is no more. Chapaika is no more, Mkoma Neva Mtare is also no more. So we went to Japan, and it was a very successful tour with the four brothers. And when I came back, I decided to form my own musical group called Jenaguru. And this group is in existence up to now. We have been touring South Korea. I've been to Incheon, I've been to Seoul, I've been to Busan. I'm talking about South Korea. This year was going to be my first year to go to Taiwan. Because we had arranged that from South Korea we go to Taiwan. And from Taiwan, because Taiwan and Japan, the southern part of Japan, is very, very near. From Taiwan to Okinawa Islands, it's very near where the American base camp, the army base camp is. So it's very near to Taiwan. So we had already made our plans that if we move from South Korea, it's like just moving from South Africa to Botswana, from Botswana to Zimbabwe, or from Botswana to Zambia. These are just neighbors, so it's easier and it's less expensive. So I have been in the music industry for a long time. I started my music career in 1985. I had resigned from the army that time because I was demobilized from the army in 1983. I was in Bulawayo, Ntabazinduna 19 Infantry Battalion. My immediate boss was the late Charles Gumbo, who passed away in Diaries, Congo. And when I was demobilized, I thought, no, I'm not going to join any institution. I want to start my own company. I have the energy to start my own company, and I wanted to be a musician. And I realized that the music industry was not well catered for, because I could see that we don't have art centers here, and the musicians were divided. So there were some fights within the music industry. So I thought, if I make it, I am going to unite the musicians in Zimbabwe. That's when I got the chance of starting the Jenaguru Music Festival in 1992. I brought all musicians, all the top musicians, Thomas Mafumo, Oliver Mtukudzi. I'm going to also provide you with, I'm going to show you some of the videos, the live performances from Thomas Mafumo, Busingube, Oliver Mtukudzi, Jabavu, Sabuku, Rusike Brothers, many. John Chibadura performed there at the Jenaguru Music Festival. So when musicians started coming together at Jenaguru Music Festival, that was the starting point now of joint shows. That is why even up to now you can see you have one venue with 3-4 groups performing at that particular venue. Musicians were not performing that way. They were individualizing themselves as a particular group, and they didn't want to come together and work as a family. But I believed before I started organizing the Jenaguru Music Festival that unity brings the arts together. If musicians unite towards one goal, one mission, one aim, they will succeed. And also I'm part of that, we will succeed. So we started coming together, performing together as a family of musicians. And now people, you know, those grudges which were there before started to disappear. People started now moving. They could now have some recordings. James Chimombe recorded a song with Oliver Mtukudzi, and you know, many, they started doing like that. Musicians started doing some collaborations, and that was the starting point of the rise of Jenaguru Music Festival. And when we were organizing the Jenaguru Music Festival, it was an eye-opener also, because people would say, why don't you also honor some musicians? So I started buying some tombstones for the musicians, top musicians, even those who were not top, to honor them, to make sure that they are celebrated each and every year, because Jenaguru was staged at Gwanzura Stadium every October. So we decided part of the money would go towards the purchase of tombstones, and part of the money also would also assist the children of the musicians who had passed on, so that the children would go to school, and when they are educated, they can start pursuing also the music the music territory. They could also join the music industry. So that is what we started doing. We raised some money, and many companies were forthcoming, like Grama, ZMC, Spinalong. They would give me maybe 1,000 cassettes. That time we had vinyl albums or vinyl singles, maxi singles, and cassettes. So I would use those vinyl cassettes and singles to give away for those who would come around 10, because our show at that time would start at 10 in the morning and end 10 on Sunday. The show would stage it on Saturday, on a Saturday from 10 a.m. to 10 a.m. the next morning. So it was 24 hours, non-stop music. So most of the top artists would grace the festival. So the festival was well supported from the government, because I was given free air on television, on radio. Press also supported me. It only came to a point when some individual reporters started asking for some money, and we had some squabbles here and there. But in general, 99%, it was very successful. The media supported me 100%, and I appreciate that very much. And for me to have the energy and the wisdom and the vision of such a mammoth task to do, to bring together most of the artists in Zimbabwe, I give all the credit to God, because God is the one who gave me the direction and the power to continue with the festival, because we started in 1992, and 1992, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 2000, 2001, 2003, 4, 5. That's when we stopped doing the Jenaguru Music Festival, because Jonathan Moyo had insisted that we should stop doing the Jenaguru Music Festival, and we must start the national galas. So I thought it's a very good cause, because it was a national cause. I should be seen also to be patriotic and supporting a national cause. So I joined the crew, and myself and Elias Msakwa, we were on the panel. We were advising the minister on the music side. We had the likes of Dr. Samkange, Tsitsidangarembwa films, Rodamandaza, I think films also, Vincent Pamire, sport. So that was the panel. It had quite a number of people, and myself and Elias Msakwa, we represented music on that particular panel. So as the festival progressed and became successful, we started inviting groups from South Africa. Zamalek came. We even invited Ray Piri to come and join Jenaguru and perform and record an album. If you recall, my album which I recorded in when was that? It should be 2000. Marijata. Ray Piri was there. Louis Mhlanga was there. Sem Mataure was there. And who else? Kelly Rusike, Chiwoniso Maraire, Prudence Katomeni, and Adam Chiso, Kenine Shamba. So we started working now, collaborating. This collaboration which is happening now, that's very good. But we had already crossed that river, because musicians could come together and work as a family. When we realized that now if our neighbors could come, the South African groups, we started inviting groups from Malawi, Mozambique, Zambia, Mulemena Boys, and Amayenge came to Jenaguru Music Festival and performed. They performed at now I had moved from Gwanzura to the National Stadium, and at that particular time I also invited a musician from San Francisco called Brother Ayuba, a reggae artist. He came from San Francisco, United States of America, to also support the Jenaguru Music Festival. So Jenaguru Music Festival had gone international. So we had all the support from the people. I could meet some fans saying, we drove all the way from Plumtree. We drove all the way from Mutoko. We are from Nyamapanda. We are from Kariba. So I was very much impressed, because when musicians come, when the show is about to start, they would get a free, those maybe I would say the first 5,000 people to enter will get a free t-shirt per person, a free t-shirt, an album, those donations will be coming from Grama, ZMC, Spinalong, and RTP. And cell phones at that time, cell phone, we had those big bricks. So I would get, I spoke to Telecel and I told them, and they knew about the festival. They would give me maybe about 10 or 20. And at that particular time, cell phones were sold only at Sam Levis village. So you would go there at Sam Levis village and get a SIM card. A SIM card was sold together with the cell phone. So they would give me the maybe 10 or 20. But now people were very much excited to hear that I'm giving away cell phones. So 10 a.m. we have already half of the stadium is almost full. So some would come and go back home because this is 24 hours non-stop. So some would stay because they know if they get a cell phone and pay $10 to enter, they have entered free in the festival. So it was very exciting because we were using, our funds were benefiting. They were not benefiting musically only. We were making sure that they benefit from some competitions which we also throw on TV, in the press, medium, to make sure that we would have a competition on television so that our fans would also win some competitions, just to make sure that the festival is prominent and also the festival becomes a success. It doesn't, because if you just think, I think I must make money without pumping out also money to those who are going to support you, it's not going to work. So we thought we must make musicians happy. We must make our fans happy. So we did a lot. We supported our fans, who also in turn supported the festival to the maximum. And also musicians would make sure that they have, all musicians who were coming to the festival have got contracts. So musicians would do in the morning, because I worked with Temba Moyo from Bulawayo, Zenzo Dube from Bulawayo. I had two managers from Bulawayo and two managers from Harare. From Harare it was Admire Taderera and James Maridade. Because it's 24 hours. When Maridade and Admire Taderera are tired, Zenzo Dube and the Moyo would go on stage and replace each other to make sure that when they go there as the MCs, the show goes on until the next day. So I worked with them, and in the morning I would be very tired, and the paymasters would be these managers also. They would pay the police, security guards, musicians, and all those concerned whom we involved in organizing the festival would get paid, but they will be having a contract. There's one particular time when people would say, Clive, he didn't pay artists. The problem is this festival was meant for musicians. So an artist who is not on the performing bill would go to Admire Taderera and say, Admire, this festival is for us. I also want to be simple. Can you just give me time to perform one song only? And Admire or Maridado would say, no, we don't have that right. We have a list of musicians who have got contracts. So if you wanted to perform, go and talk to Clive. So they would come and pursue, please, Mgoma Clive, we want to go. We also want to market ourselves. You can see there's a huge gathering here. And if we go on stage and perform only one song, it's going to work on our side. You would have given us a platform to showcase our talent. So I would listen, because I was organizing for musicians. Being lenient, I would tell Mkoma, Ademaya and James to slot them inside. So they would get maybe just one song, they play one song. Right. And the people would because people were happy, drinking and eating and enjoying themselves. The next day, now Mkuma Ademaya and Zenzo Dube and Moyo and Maridade, they are paying now musicians with the contracts. That artist who came asking for some favors would also be in the queue, saying, you saw people danced there when I was performing, so why are you saying that I mustn't get? When I performed, people enjoyed. And I must also be paid like any other musician. So I would say, brother, now you are mixing up things. We didn't agree. If all these guys who are in the queue, they have got contracts, and I would not even budge. So the same person would go to the reporters now, straight to the reporters. I performed. You saw me, I was on stage. And when I performed, I was not paid. Instead of reporters to come to me and asking me to say, Clive, we have an artist here complaining, saying that the artist performed and you didn't pay that particular artist. What is the problem? Is it true? They didn't verify. The next day or 2 days later, you would see a big article. Musicians complaining, Clive ran away or didn't pay musicians. And that kind of reporting, I thought that was not good, because you could see the likes of Oliver Mtukudzi. We carried each other from 1993 from Gwanzura up to 2005. We were together. If I was not paying musicians, Mkwama Thomas would come to the festival every particular year. Oliver Mtukudzi, Thomas Mapfumo, Leonard Jakata, Rusike Brothers, Paul Mpofu, Johnny Chibadura, Paul Piri, and many others who were coming every year. So that particular area was not good on my side. I didn't like that, because I cannot go in each house now, because people they tend to respect what they read in the press. So I will not get an opportunity again to go on radio or in the press to deny the allegation. So it was very difficult, but I continued on. It was up to the people to give their judgment, to say, our artist, top artist from Zimbabwe, including international ones, are coming. The festival is successful. So people supported me, even though I had some challenges here and there. I pursued on through those challenges, because the challenges, those are the ones which gives you the direction and the energy. If you are not challenged, you are not going anywhere, because what you will be doing is nothing. So I later on realized that some challenges are worth it in life, because that will be a learning phase for you to reach your ultimate goals. So after the success of the Jenaguru Music Festivals, I was approached, because I belong to people. I come from people, and I also belong to them. I listen to them what they want in terms of organizing the festival, how it should be, the PA system, the security, and many other good things, food and drink. So everything was just as perfect, because people would come after the festival to, you know, give me what they thought was not proper. Toilets were not properly cleaned, this and that. So the next festival I would put everything in good order. So one particular person came to me and said, I think you have done so good in the music industry. It's time now you should also consider promoting other artists whom we are working with here, so that the festival becomes much bigger. So I asked that particular person, and he said, you know what you could do? You could also apply to the University of Zimbabwe for Thomas Mafumo to be honored. So I said, how? So he said, you must approach the university, the Faculty of Arts. Now if you provide me with facts like that, myself, I make a follow-up. So I made a follow-up, wrote a letter to the University of Zimbabwe. I worked with Zimunya. He was, I think now he's back in Zimbabwe, or he's still in the United States of America with Mkoma Thomas Mafumo. And I asked him, and he said, no, we will help here and there, because I had no knowledge of how a citation would be written. So Musaimura Zimunya would say, Clive, we will assist you, our students who are in the Faculty of Arts, we will assist you to write the citation. So I applied and I got a positive response, and Mkoma Thomas Mafumo was awarded an honorary degree through the efforts of Jenaguru Arts Center. And if you recall, we also applied to the city of Harare for him to have the freedom of the city of Harare. And Thomas Mafumo has got that the freedom of the city of Harare. And we also applied the city of Harare for Thomas Mafumo to be given a small space. It should be corner First Street and is it George Sulundik, I think, but it's along First Street of Harare. There's a space there where the city of Harare donated and said we should build a statue for Thomas Mafumo. We didn't have enough funds to construct a statue, so we made a plaque, and that plaque was vandalized, and we removed the plaque, and we are still yet to replace the plaque, but we are in the process. It's not an easy thing, because it's very expensive. So Mkoma Thomas Mafumo was honored by the city of Harare in two ways: freedom of the city of Harare, and a plaque along First Street of Harare, and the University of Zimbabwe honored Mkoma Thomas Mafumo with an honorary degree. Same applies to because we thought we are concentrating on men only, so we applied also for Ambuya Stella Chiweshe as Jenaguru, for her to be honored by the University of Zimbabwe. So Mkoma Thomas Ambuya Stella Chiweshe was also conferred with an honorary degree by the University of Zimbabwe. That's what those are some big achievements, you can imagine. And I had also forgotten that Ambuya Stella Chiweshe and Thomas Mafumo, before being honored by University of Zimbabwe and City of Harare, they were honored by Jenaguru. We went to a shop corner called Carlton, corner First Street. It was operating from the corner of First Street and Robert Mugabe. If you still remember, they were selling jewelry, the Summerfields. So I talked to them and I said, I want you to make a star and write on this star the king of Chimurenga music, Thomas Mafumo, and on Ambuya Stella Chiweshe, the queen of Mbira music, Ambuya Stella Rambisai Chiweshe. So the star had, it was a 21 karat gold star. If they wanted to sell it even now, they can sell it. It's 21 karat. That's a lot of gold. So it was made out of gold because we thought we have some Olympics. When some of these countries, they don't have, they are taking this gold from us, from here in Africa, and the diamonds are coming from Africa. Why are we not honoring our top musicians with valuable assets? So as Jenaguru, from the start we thought, no, let's work on a gold star and write their names there. And 1995, if I'm not mistaken, that was at Gwanzura Stadium. Comrade Nathan Shamuyarira, who was by that time the chairman of Jenaguru Music Festival, Jenaguru Art Center, came with his wife and to honor Thomas Mafumo with the 21 karat gold star. So they did that and it was very, very successful. And when we honored Ambuya Stella Chiweshe, I've forgotten who came to, honor, give her the honor as the queen of Mbira music. Right. So you can see we were trying also to make sure that the artists they become popular by going out of our way, because we were listening, our ears were on the ground listening to some good ideas. If we realize that the idea is worth pursuing, we would pursue that idea. It's what I'm telling you now, it's not, I told you, very open and candid. I'm saying some of these ideas were coming from our fans. They were telling me what to do. That means even musicians, if they want to succeed, they must listen to the fans. They will tell you, the way you dress is not good. The way you are performing here, you are not taking enough time. If you say you finish at 12, by 11 you are not on stage. So we are not enjoying. You take into account all what your fans do and you rebrand according to what the fans like. And if you do like that, those two fans will go and invite 20 more fans and your territory will have more fans. So that's what we did with Mkoma Thomas and Mkoma Oliver Mtukudzi. I think at that time it was Sam Mataure who initiated, because I worked with Sam Mataure and he was watching what I was doing also, and that was the starting point. We had already started. Jenaguru started writing to universities for musicians to be honored, and the first one was Thomas Mafumo. Thomas Mafumo graduated together with the vice president, the late Simon Mzenda, And the following year, I think Ambuya Mulambo was also honored. And now we have applied to the Great Zimbabwe University for Bigitembo and Teenage Kupo to be honored posthumously, so that their legacy lives on. I hope it's going to work, because they replied and said they have received my application, and they have forwarded the application to the Faculty of Arts. So they are still considering whether to go ahead or reject. So it's up to them. The decision is theirs, but I hope for the best. Right, and we carried on. The music industry had changed. Grammar started realizing that the festival was a success. We were working together, because I was working with the record companies. So they invited me to join them to make sure that the piracy thing, you remember those days when piracy was a menace. It's still a menace, of course, but now there's no piracy. People are just printing the CDs and selling the CDs and enjoying, and the musicians are not getting even one single penny from the piracy, which is happening right now. But that time when cassettes were on sale, Grammar realized that Jenaguru can have a say, can also participate. So they called us as an institution to join Grammar, ZMC and RTP. How best can we stop this cassette piracy? So we said, okay, what we need to do is we must make sure that those who are going to Zambia and Tanzania to buy music cassettes and come to Zimbabwe and sell cheaply, and the musicians are not getting any money, what you need to do is just involve them here at your company. So all the pirates were invited, and they were given a discount with the record companies. That is how we managed. And also those who were fighting, I mean those who were empowered to arrest people in the streets with the police, like I think Kuhlengisa and Franco Hodobo. So I told to Julian Howard, who was the managing director of Grammar, I said, you must know that these guys who are also pirating our music, they are very ruthless. They can kill these guys who would want to arrest them with their consignment. So what you need to do is you must protect these two guys, Kutlengisa and Franco Odobo. You provided them with a car each, and also you must make sure that they have enough funds if they go to Chinoi to check who is pirating music. And these guys who are pirating music, they must be introduced to Grammar, ZMC and RTP. That is how we managed to win those who were pirating our music. But this time now, with the CDs, the flash and so forth, it required now the government to be part and parcel of the fight. Like in South Africa, the Minister of Arts started to be on the forefront, because the artists were losing out. So we started encouraging the ministry to have an audience with the artist, to discuss about piracy. National Arts Council was supposed to be there. ZIMRA, Zimbabwe Music Rights Association, was supposed to be there. Our ministry was supposed to be there. Especially the ministry itself, they were supposed to make sure that they are the ones who were going to chair the meeting. But they were not forthcoming. They just took it lightly up to now. So we decided, as Jenaguru, this is my idea. I thought, no, the only thing that I must do here is I must go out of the country and sell the music that you are going to show to the Zimbabwe people. It's their first time to see the videos. I'm talking about the Jenaguru Music Festival. The Jenaguru Festival, which you are going to show, I started selling the videos in Japan, I think in 2000. Year 2000, I started selling the Jenaguru music, compiled because I was the presenter myself, so I would do present, record, just package the music video and sell it in Japan. So we've started selling it in Japan. Now we are selling it in South Korea, and very soon we'll be selling it in Taiwan. And in these three countries, especially Japan and South Korea, if a person is caught duplicating someone's music, or any artwork, could be carving, music, poetry, if you copy someone's work without that person's consent, you will be arrested and you go to prison for 3 years, and there is no option of a fine. So you can see there's a deterrent there. So people they will do it secretly. Of course, people will be printing, copying from the computers and so forth, but it's not as open as what they are doing here in Zimbabwe. In the streets, I see my music. Even the one who is selling wants to come to me and say, Dara, I have got a nice video here from Clive Malunga, the latest. And he's talking to me. And he was... and I'm not getting even one single penny from the sales. So I decided, I think in Zimbabwe, we are not organized. I have to move my things, all my artwork. Now I'm migrating to other areas where I am recognized, where I am protected, where I am appreciated, where people will come and support. Now here there is no support. We talk and talk until donkeys come home and nothing will succeed. So I thought, no, the best way forward is for me to take my music elsewhere where I'm going to benefit. If I didn't do that, I was not also going to manage to be where I am now, because I'm also surviving through these sales, because I can see people are buying online. In Japan, they are buying my music, they are buying my CDs, my DVDs, and I'm very happy about that. And after a while, my managing director, a very honest woman who has been working with Jenaguru for a long time, from 1992 up to now. She's the one who is facilitating the travels, school fees for kids, training kids to make sure that they know how to dance at the international level. And also how to play mbira, how to play some of our traditional instruments like chipendani, drums, and so and the maracas, you know, the shakers. So we have been getting support, especially in myself. I'm talking about myself. I've been getting support from outside of Zimbabwe. For this instrument which you see here, we have 2 studios here. We have beautiful studio here. The Japanese donated $90,000 US, and they said, okay, we have donated $90,000 US for musical instruments for Jenaguru Art Center. What you need to do is you go to Japan and buy these things from some companies which manufacture musical instruments in Japan. So I went to Yamaha. You can see here we have Yamaha, we have of course Alesis is here, Toshiba, Sony. We have big brands, and they ended up sending a music producer to come and set up this musical studio. So they sent a guy called Nakamura. I think his card is there. He is the owner of News 90 professional studio. He flew from Japan to Zimbabwe to set up this beautiful studio. And he went back. I am getting support from, I am being realized by foreigners. I even went to because our managing director used to work for the Japanese embassy as a top official there. So I went to the Japanese embassy during the 90s, and I sold the idea, and I said I wanted to make sure that the artists come together, and I want to do a musical festival called the Jenaguru Music Festival. Please, can you help? And this woman called Tomoko Takahashi assisted me. She bought my dream, and she came on board financially. So she supported me financially to kickstart, to make sure that the festival takes off from the ground. Especially the first show at the Harare Gardens, the first one. She really pumped out a lot of money because it was a free show. Artists were supposed to be paid, the PA system was supposed to be paid, and some sponsors were not yet on board because they were not quite sure. They didn't know me. Who is Clive Malunga? What is Jenaguru? So someone somewhere had to foot the bills of the festival, and she came on board and supported the festival. I am saying I've been going, I went to the National Arts Council with this idea. They could not even pump out even 2 cents, even 1 cent. So I went to the ministry to say, do you know, I have got this project proposal. It's in written form. I am not just going there and just explaining. I am going with a project proposal. I want support from you. I want to make sure that musicians come together and our art becomes a success in this part of the world. We want to be successful like top artists in Congo, in America, in the United Kingdom. Why are we not successful here is because we are not organized. We need financial support for the arts to prosper. there must be someone somewhere, especially the ministry, through the National Arts Council and all the parastatals concerned, to make sure to foot the bills of the artists, to make sure that the arts industry becomes a success story for this part of the world, Zimbabwe. And they didn't buy this idea. They thought, this guy is just bluffing. We have seen many artists, like when I said I want to start the Jenaguru Music Festival, said, even the chairman of Zimbabwe Musicians Union at that time, Green Jango, the late Green Jangano, tried to do these festivals, and Jethro Shasha, and they failed. You think you can manage? Now the people, our people here in Zimbabwe, they measure people by how they dress maybe, or how they look. They don't have the spiritual aspect. They don't dig deep into what someone will be putting across. But when I went to the Japanese embassy, this woman who was looking right, she was not blinking. She was looking right into my eyes. If she could see this young man at that time, I think I was, I don't know, 20s, 30s, I don't know. And she said, okay, is the embassy, we will try, but no, not as the embassy, as an individual, as a top diplomat here. I am going to join you and assist you for this particular year, 1992. That is how I managed to stage to put everything together for the Jenaguru Music Festival 1992. We have a lot of talent here. We have the likes of Soja Love, Ja Signal, Romeo Gasa, many other young artists who are climbing up. I'm telling you now, these young artists will fall on the wayside, even though people are appreciating them and saying they are full of talent. They are not going to realize their dreams because they need financial support from the government. The government, the Ministry of Sports, Arts and Culture, is just a name. I don't know why there is a Ministry of Sport, Arts and Culture when they are not even assisting musicians to go from stage 1 and monitor them and go to stage 2. Myself, I've been paying school fees for a young guy called Vincent Matuso from Domboshawa. We went to as far as Domboshawa. We discovered this dancer when he was still a primary school student at Zimbiru Primary School. Now he's doing A-level. And from grade 5 up to Form 6, we are the ones who are paying his school fees. And we intend to also facilitate with some organizations in Japan so that he can have a scholarship and he goes to Japan and he does his first degree in Japan. But when you go there, if it is not an international, we are talking about an international scholarship where you just go to an international school where you go and join and start learning your subjects in English. It's difficult now because with this one you need to make sure that 2 years you'll be learning Japanese or 2 years you'll be learning South Korean. And the third year now, you pursue your degree in their language. So that is what we are doing.